Aisha lived in a big, busy city. Every day she rushed to work, surrounded by noise and people. She worked in a tall office building, filled with the constant hum of computers and the chatter of coworkers. Aisha's job was demanding. She worked long hours and always had tight deadlines. Her boss expected a lot from her, and so did her family. Every morning, Aisha woke up early, feeling the weight of the day ahead. She hurried through her routine, barely having time to eat breakfast. She would squeeze into the crowded subway, feeling the press of bodies around her. The noise, the rush, and the pressure were always there, like a heavy cloud over her head. Aisha's weekends were no better. They were spent catching up on chores, running errands, or attending social events she didn't enjoy. She rarely had time for herself. Even when she did have a moment of quiet, her mind was still busy, filled with thoughts about work, family, and endless responsibilities. Deep down, Aisha felt lost and unhappy. She longed for a sense of peace and happiness, but she didn't know how to find it. She remembered a time when she was a child, playing in a quiet garden, feeling the soft grass under her feet. She felt peaceful then. She wondered why she couldn't feel that way now. One evening, after a particularly hard day at work, Aisha sat by her window and looked at the stars. The city lights twinkled below, but her mind was far away, lost in memories of simpler times. She remembered the quiet garden of her childhood, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the warm sun on her face. She felt a pang of longing for that peace. As she sat there, a thought came to her. Maybe she could find that peace again. Maybe if she tried, she could feel happy and calm like she did when she was a child. This thought gave Aisha hope. She decided she would try to change her life and find inner peace. The next morning, Aisha woke up with a sense of purpose. She didn't know exactly how she was going to do it, but she was determined to find a way. She felt a small spark of excitement, a feeling she hadn't experienced in a long time. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to start her journey. The next day, Aisha went to a bookstore during her lunch break. She wandered through the aisles, looking at the colorful book covers. She felt drawn to the section on self-help and personal growth. One book caught her eye. It was called Finding Peace Within. The cover showed a serene landscape with mountains, a calm lake, and a rising sun. She picked it up and started reading the first few pages. The book told the story of a wise old man who had found inner peace through meditation and mindfulness. It explained how anyone could learn to do the same. The words spoke to Aisha's heart. She felt a spark of hope and decided to buy the book. She took it back to her office, feeling eager to start reading it that evening. That night, Aisha curled up on her couch with the book. As she read, she felt like the wise man was speaking directly to her. He talked about the importance of taking time for oneself, of being present in the moment, and of being kind to oneself. Aisha felt inspired. She realized she had been neglecting these simple yet powerful practices. The book became Aisha's guide. She learned about the benefits of meditation, the practice of mindfulness, and the power of positive thinking. The wise man's journey mirrored her own desire for peace and happiness. Aisha decided to make small changes in her daily life, as the book suggested. She started waking up a little earlier each morning to sit quietly and breathe deeply. At first, it felt strange. She was used to rushing through her mornings, barely having time to think. But now, she allowed herself a few moments of quiet reflection. She focused on her breath, feeling it flow in and out. It was difficult at first. Her mind kept wandering to her to-do list and her worries. But she remembered the wise man's words. Be patient with yourself. Inner peace takes time. Aisha also started practicing mindfulness during her day. She tried to focus on the present moment, whether she was at work, walking to the subway, or eating a meal. She noticed the small details she had previously overlooked. The warmth of the sun on her skin, the sound of birds chirping, the taste of her food. These moments of awareness brought her small pockets of peace. Additionally, Aisha began keeping a journal. Every evening she wrote down her thoughts and feelings. She expressed her worries, her hopes, and her gratitude. Writing in her journal helped her understand her emotions better. It became a safe space for her to reflect and grow. As the days passed, Aisha found that these small changes were making a difference. She started to enjoy her quiet mornings. She felt more present during her day, noticing the beauty in the ordinary. Her journal became a companion on her journey, helping her navigate her thoughts and feelings. But the journey was not without its challenges. Aisha faced moments of doubt and frustration. Some days, she felt like she wasn't making any progress. She struggled with negative thoughts and old habits. There were times when she felt like giving up. One evening, after a particularly stressful day at work, Aisha sat by her window, feeling overwhelmed. She wondered if she would ever truly find peace. But then, she remembered the wise man's advice. Every journey has its ups and downs. Keep going. Aisha decided not to give up. She knew that finding inner peace was not a quick fix, but a lifelong journey. She picked herself up and continued her practice, determined to overcome the roadblocks. Aisha's journey towards inner peace was filled with small but significant changes. Each morning, she continued her practice of sitting quietly and breathing deeply. Initially, her mind would wander, filled with thoughts about work and daily worries. But gradually, she found moments of calm. She focused on the rhythm of her breath, letting her thoughts drift away like clouds. Aisha also integrated mindfulness into her daily activities. She practiced being present while brushing her teeth, feeling the bristles against her gums and the taste of the minty toothpaste. She paid attention to the sensation of the warm water on her skin during her morning shower, letting it wash away her stress. At work, Aisha set reminders on her phone to take short breaks. During these breaks, she would close her eyes and take a few deep breaths, centering herself. She noticed that these moments of mindfulness helped her stay focused and calm, even during hectic days. In the evenings, Aisha dedicated time to her journal. She wrote about her day, her thoughts, and her feelings. She poured out her worries and fears, but also her hopes and dreams. Writing became a form of therapy, helping her understand herself better. She noticed patterns in her thoughts and began to see where her stress and unhappiness were coming from. One weekend, Aisha decided to explore a park she had never visited before. She found a quiet spot under a large tree and sat down. She closed her eyes and took deep breaths, feeling the gentle breeze on her face. As she sat there, she listened to the sounds of nature, the rustling leaves, the chirping birds, and the distant hum of the city. For the first time in a long while, she felt a deep sense of peace. Aisha smiled, realizing that these small moments of mindfulness were making a difference. She felt more connected to herself and the world around her. She started to notice the beauty in everyday things, the colors of the flowers in the park, the laughter of children playing, and the kindness in a stranger's smile. However, Aisha's journey was not without its challenges. Some days, she felt overwhelmed by the demands of her job and the expectations of her family. There were times when her old habits and negative thoughts would resurface, making her doubt her progress. One day, Aisha had a particularly difficult meeting at work. Her boss was unhappy with a project she had been working on, and she felt criticized and unappreciated. She went home feeling defeated and anxious. As she sat on her couch, her mind raced with thoughts of failure and self-doubt. But then, she remembered the wise man's words from the book. Be patient with yourself. Inner peace takes time. Aisha took a deep breath and reminded herself that setbacks were a part of the journey. She decided to practice some of the techniques she had learned. She sat quietly and focused on her breath, letting her thoughts pass by without judgment. Slowly, she began to feel a sense of calm. She realized that she didn't have to be perfect to find peace. It was okay to have bad days and to struggle. What mattered was her commitment to keep going and to continue her practice. Aisha found comfort in knowing that she was on the right path. She reminded herself that inner peace was not a destination, but a journey. Each step, no matter how small, was a step towards a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Despite her dedication, Aisha's journey to inner peace was not smooth. She encountered numerous roadblocks that tested her patience and resolve. The first major challenge came unexpectedly, just when she thought she was making good progress. Aisha's work situation became more demanding. Her boss assigned her a big project with an impossible deadline. She felt the familiar pressure mounting. Late nights at the office and constant stress took a toll on her practice of mindfulness and meditation. She found it hard to maintain her morning routine, and her moments of peace seemed to slip away. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, Aisha sat on her bed, feeling utterly exhausted. Her mind was a whirlwind of worries and negative thoughts. Am I even making any progress? She wondered. She felt like she was back to where she started, overwhelmed and stressed. To add to her struggles, Aisha's family didn't understand her need for quiet time and self-care. They often demanded her attention and help with various tasks, leaving her with little time for herself. Her attempts to explain her journey towards inner peace were met with confusion and sometimes even criticism. Why are you wasting time sitting and breathing when there's so much to do? They would ask. Aisha felt torn between her responsibilities and her need for personal growth. She began to doubt herself and her journey. The wise man's words from the book echoed in her mind. Every journey has its ups and downs. Keep going. But in those moments of doubt, it was hard to hold on to that wisdom. Feeling overwhelmed, Aisha decided to seek help. She reached out to a friend, Lena, who had always been supportive and understanding. Over a cup of tea, Aisha poured out her heart, sharing her struggles and doubts. Lena listened patiently. She then shared her own experiences of facing similar challenges. "It's okay to struggle, Aisha," Lena said gently. "What's important is that you're trying. Remember, growth is not linear. There will be setbacks, but that doesn't mean you're not progressing." Lena's words gave Aisha a renewed sense of hope. She realized that setbacks were a part of the journey. They didn't mean she was failing. They were opportunities to learn and grow stronger. Aisha decided to approach her challenges with a different mindset. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, she started viewing them as stepping stones. Aisha went back to her practice with a renewed commitment. She understood that it was okay to have bad days and to feel overwhelmed at times. What mattered was her perseverance and her willingness to keep trying. She also learned to set boundaries more firmly. She communicated her needs more clearly to her family, explaining why her quiet time was important to her. It wasn't easy, but over time, they began to understand and respect her space. At work, Aisha practiced mindfulness even during the busiest days. She took short breaks to breathe deeply and center herself. She realized that even a few moments of calm could make a significant difference in how she handled stress. There were still days when Aisha felt like giving up. But each time, she reminded herself of the wise man's journey and the words of encouragement from her friend. She knew that inner peace was not about having a perfect life, but about finding calm amidst the chaos. One evening, after a long day, Aisha sat by her window, looking at the stars. She felt a sense of accomplishment. Despite the challenges, she had not given up. She was learning to navigate the ups and downs of her journey. She was growing stronger, more resilient, and more at peace with herself. Aisha knew there would be more roadblocks ahead, but she also knew she had the strength to overcome them. She felt grateful for the support of her friend and the wisdom she had gained from her experiences. Her journey was far from over, but she was on the right path. Aisha's journey continued with its share of challenges and small victories. She remained committed to her practice, but there were days when it felt like she was taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. However, she didn't let these setbacks deter her. She knew that growth often came in unexpected ways. One weekend, Aisha decided to take a break from the city. She needed a change of scenery and some time to recharge. She planned a trip to a nearby countryside village known for its serene landscapes and peaceful atmosphere. She booked a small cottage by a lake, eager to immerse herself in nature. When she arrived at the village, Aisha felt an immediate sense of calm. The air was fresh and crisp, and the sounds of nature replaced the constant noise of the city. She spent her days walking along the lake, sitting under trees, and simply being present in the moment. For the first time in a long while, she felt a deep sense of relaxation. One afternoon, Aisha found a secluded spot by the lake. She spread out a blanket and sat down, closing her eyes and taking deep breaths. The gentle lapping of the water against the shore, the rustling of leaves, and the distant call of birds created a symphony of peace. As she sat there, she felt her mind quieting down, her worries melting away. In that moment, Aisha experienced a profound sense of calm. It was as if the world had stopped spinning, and she was at the center of a peaceful universe. She felt connected to nature, to herself, and to something greater. This wasn't just a fleeting moment of relaxation. It was a deep, enduring sense of inner peace. As she opened her eyes and looked out at the lake, Aisha realized that this was what she had been searching for. Inner peace wasn't something that could be found in a book or a specific practice. It was a state of being, a way of living. She understood that she had the power to cultivate this peace within herself, no matter where she was or what she was doing. This realization marked a turning point in Aisha's journey. She felt a new sense of confidence and strength. She knew that she could handle whatever life threw at her, as long as she stayed connected to her inner peace. She felt a renewed commitment to her practice, not as a means to an end, but as a way of life. When Aisha returned to the city, she brought this sense of peace with her. She continued her morning meditation and mindfulness practices, but now with a deeper understanding and purpose. She found that she could tap into her inner calm even during the busiest and most stressful times. At work, Aisha approached her tasks with a new perspective. She set clear boundaries, ensuring that she took regular breaks and didn't overwork herself. She communicated more effectively with her colleagues and her boss, expressing her needs and setting realistic expectations. She noticed that her productivity improved, and she felt more satisfied with her work. In her personal life, Aisha continued to practice self-care and mindfulness. She made time for activities that brought her joy, like painting and spending time in nature. She also strengthened her relationships, being more present and attentive with her family and friends. Her interactions became more meaningful, filled with understanding and compassion. Aisha's journey of inner peace was far from over, but she felt more equipped to navigate it. She understood that peace wasn't a destination, but a continuous path. There would always be challenges and setbacks, but she knew she had the strength and resilience to overcome them. One evening, as Aisha sat by her window looking at the stars, she reflected on her journey. She felt grateful for the moments of calm, the lessons learned, and the growth she had experienced. She knew that the journey of inner peace was ongoing, but she was no longer afraid of the road ahead. She felt hopeful and inspired, ready to continue her path with an open heart and a peaceful mind. With a renewed sense of purpose and inner peace, Aisha embarked on a new phase of her journey. She continued to practice meditation and mindfulness, but now with a deeper commitment and understanding. She approached each day with intention, focusing on cultivating positivity and gratitude in every moment. One of the changes Aisha made was to incorporate yoga into her daily routine. She attended classes at a nearby studio where she learned new poses and techniques for relaxation. Yoga became a form of moving meditation for her, allowing her to connect with her body and breath in a profound way. Through yoga, Aisha discovered the importance of physical well-being in her journey towards inner peace. The practice helped her release tension and stress stored in her body, allowing her to feel more grounded and centered. She found that combining yoga with her meditation practice enhanced her overall sense of calm and balance. Another significant change for Aisha was setting boundaries at work. She learned to say no to tasks that overloaded her schedule and prioritized her mental and emotional well-being. By creating a healthier work-life balance, Aisha found that she could maintain her inner peace even during busy periods. Outside of work, Aisha explored new hobbies and activities that brought her joy. She rediscovered her love for painting and spent weekends creating colorful artworks inspired by nature and her emotions. Painting became a form of expression and meditation for her, allowing her to tap into her creativity and inner world. Aisha also made time for nature walks and outdoor adventures. She found solace in the beauty of natural landscapes, the towering trees, the rushing rivers, and the vast open skies. Being in nature helped her recharge and reconnect with herself, reminding her of the simplicity and tranquility that life had to offer. In her relationships, Aisha practiced compassion and empathy. She became more attuned to the needs and feelings of others, fostering deeper connections with her loved ones. She listened actively, offered support without judgment, and expressed gratitude for the presence of these meaningful relationships in her life. As Aisha continued on her journey, she encountered new challenges and opportunities for growth. There were moments of uncertainty and doubt, but she faced them with courage and resilience. She knew that inner peace was not about avoiding difficulties, but about navigating them with grace and strength. Through her experiences, Aisha realized that true inner peace came from within. It wasn't dependent on external circumstances or achievements, but on cultivating a sense of harmony and contentment within herself. She embraced the idea that she had the power to create her own happiness and fulfillment, regardless of the challenges she faced. One evening, as Aisha sat in her favorite spot by the lake, she reflected on how far she had come. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the wisdom she had gained and the peace she had found. Her journey was a continuous evolution, a path of self-discovery and personal growth. Looking ahead, Aisha knew that her journey of inner peace would continue to unfold. She welcomed the future with optimism and curiosity, knowing that each step would bring new lessons and insights. She felt empowered to live authentically and compassionately, inspiring others to embark on their own paths towards inner peace. As Aisha continued on her journey of inner peace, she discovered a profound truth: the importance of cultivating an inner sanctuary, a place within herself where she could always find solace and strength, no matter the external circumstances. She realized that her inner sanctuary wasn't just a physical space or a specific practice, but a state of mind and being that she carried with her every day. It was the peace she felt during her morning meditation, the calmness she found in nature, and the clarity she gained through writing in her journal. Aisha learned to nurture her inner sanctuary through consistent self-care and mindfulness. She practiced self-compassion, offering herself kindness and understanding during moments of self-doubt or difficulty. She embraced her emotions with acceptance, knowing that each feeling was a part of her human experience. In times of stress or uncertainty, Aisha turned inward, tapping into her inner sanctuary for guidance. She found that by quieting her mind and listening to her intuition, she could navigate challenges with greater clarity and resilience. Her inner sanctuary became a source of empowerment and courage, helping her face life's ups and downs with grace. Through her journey, Aisha inspired those around her to cultivate their own inner sanctuaries. She shared her experiences and wisdom, encouraging others to explore mindfulness, self-reflection, and the pursuit of inner peace. She believed that everyone had the potential to discover their inner sanctuary, regardless of their circumstances or past experiences. One day, Aisha sat by her window, reflecting on the transformation she had undergone. She felt grateful for the lessons learned, the growth experienced, and the inner peace that now anchored her life. Her journey was far from over, but she embraced each new day with a sense of purpose and gratitude. As she looked ahead, Aisha knew that her inner sanctuary would continue to evolve and deepen. It was a lifelong journey of self-discovery and self-compassion, a journey she embraced wholeheartedly, knowing that true peace came from within.